today we're just going to be talking about like stuff about angles. Um, so some more geometry stuff. Uh, and like angles are like extremely important in geometry because like sometimes angles can help you find like more relationships in figures. Like if you have like a complex diagram and you determine some angles and do stuff like that, then you might be able to learn more about it. Sometimes the question that you're given will like actually ask you to find an angle. Like it might give you some angle measures and they might ask you to find a specific angle. Which is why like angles are like very important. So like I'm sure like everyone already knows like the basic definition of angles, right? Like I don't think I have to like go over like the basic stuff. Like an angle formed by between two lines is kind of like just like the degree measure of like the figure formed between like these two lines. So I'll just assume that everyone like knows what an angle is. Um so the first thing that we're going to talk about in angles is parallel lines. Because like parallel lines are like very good when you want to work with angles. Um, so two lines are considered parallel, just in case if people aren't familiar. Two lines are considered parallel if they never intersect, like if they're like facing the same direction. So like something like this would be considered parallel lines. So let's see how like two parallel lines like this. And let's say we were to draw like a single line that cuts these two lines, right? Let's say I just draw like this line here. So if these two lines are parallel, these two red lines, and let's say you have this blue line going through cutting these two red lines like this. We call this blue line. We actually have like a special term for some reason. It's called like a transversal. It's called like a transversal of these two parallel red lines. And like whenever you have parallel lines and like transversals, like you'll have like a lot of equal angles, which is like good. So it turns out like for example, this green angle here is going to equal this green angle here. And these are called like corresponding angles. You'll learn about more about these like different angle pairings, like about parallel lines and like transversals. You'll learn more about them if you're like in geometry. Then you'll probably study these. You also have things called like alternate like exterior angles. So like you have like these two red angles are going to be equal. You also have relationships like these two yellow angles are equal. These are called like alternate interior angles. And if you wanted to know why these were true, you can just kind of think of it as like you're kind of like taking the first line. You can kind of think about taking the first line and like shifting it downwards. Then like the two angles are going to coincide. Like you can think about it like that way. So just know that whenever you have parallel lines, you're gonna have like a bunch of like angles that are like gonna match up. Like the green angles in this case are equal, the red angles are equal, the yellow angles are equal. There are a bunch of special names for them. Like the green angles are called like corresponding angles, the yellow angles are called like alternate interior angles. But I don't think you don't have to like know the actual like names. As long as you know like there is a relationship, then that should be like enough. Um and yeah, and also parallel lines are very important, like especially in more complicated geometry diagrams. And they're very important because a lot of the times, if you have parallel lines, then you'll also have similar triangles. And the reason is because like if you have like a triangle for some reason, like you have a triangle, and then let's say you have like a this red line that's like parallel to like this bottom line, then by the alternate or by the corresponding angles, like the green angles in this case, if we looked at the green angles, uh, then down here we would have like this angle equals this angle, and like this angle equals this angle. So by like AA similarity, which we talked about, we would know that like this red triangle is similar to like this yellow triangle. So that's also another reason why like parallel lines are important. So whenever a problem gives you stuff about parallel lines, you always want to like look out for like similar triangles as well, because similar triangles give us even more information. So yeah, that's why like parallel lines are like very important.